Archie was the last born among her 4 sisters. All her sisters had gotten married and she was the only one left in her father's home. One day as Archie was going to the river, her pot broke and fell on her feet and she got hurt. A kind handsome man who was walking around saw her and decided to carry her to the herbalist for treatment. After some time, Archie was released by the herbalist and Chris helped her to walk back home. Chris kept bringing fruits for Archie until she was okay and able to walk again. Chris and Archie started spending more time together and they fell in love. Archie and Chris finally got married and they started their marriage life, which was so beautiful until Chris' mother came to visit Archie and Chris. Laura was her name and she was known for being a wicked witch. Archie, being newly married, tried everything to please her mother-in-law, from washing her clothes to cooking her favorite meals, but she still didn't like her. Laura wanted her son to marry another woman, but he didn't. So Laura swore to frustrate Archie until she gets tired and leaves the marriage by herself. 1 year down the line, Archie got pregnant and broke the news to her husband, who was so happy to hear about it. They both agreed to keep it a secret from Laura. But after 6 months, Laura noticed Archie's protruding belly and realized that she was pregnant. Laura gave Archie more heavy duties to carry out and Chris started complaining because he noticed his mother was mistreating his pregnant wife. When Laura saw this, he cast a spell on his son so that he could no longer complain. Laura continued with her wickedness, and when Archie was about to deliver, she put a spell on her pregnancy so that she could continue carrying the pregnancy for more months. Archie was getting exhausted because of how heavy it was to do house chores when she was heavily pregnant. Every night Archie would sob as she prayed, saying, "God, please help me to deliver my child safely and help my husband to love me again." The more Archie prayed, the more her mother-in-law hated her. One day after Archie had prepared supper, her wicked mother-in-law went into the kitchen and put poison in it, hoping that if Archie eats the food, she would die. Archie saw what her mother-in-law had done and she poured the poison food and prepared a separate food that she ate. Laura waited in her heart to hear the news of Archie dead, but in the morning she saw Archie washing clothes as usual. Laura went into the kitchen and saw the pot of food empty. She knew that Archie had eaten the food, but she was wondering why she was not dead. Laura licked the pot of food to confirm her suspicions, and immediately she started vomiting blood and died. When Laura died, the spell she had placed on her son and daughter-in-law lifted. Archie got into labor and gave birth to a very handsome son. The love between Chris and Archie was rekindled, and they both lived happily ever after. The end. If you've enjoyed this story, please remember to give it a like, subscribe, and share if you can. And drop your name on the comment section wherever you're watching us from to tell me if you enjoyed the video. Me to give you a shout out on the next episode of Wonder Tales by Julian.